Hey, what up, motherflowers? Before I begin this WWE Fastlane 2018 predictions video, I want to take this time to show some love, a shout out to my good friend Brennan, formerly known as the PW Outsider on YouTube. He is now back on the website with a new channel, and if you are into reaction videos, unboxing videos, reviews of wrestling, what have you, head over to his new channel, TheOutsidersEdge. I have a link to his channel down below in the description box, and I guarantee you're gonna love the stuff that he does. Brennan was actually one of the few people that I had the awesome time of hanging out with in Dallas for WrestleMania weekend 2 years ago, along with Fabe, Matt from In the Robe Show. We had a blast, like I said. One of the things that we did, we filmed a skit on Connor's channel, Fabe's channel, the Fabe convention, and one of the highlights from that video that I'll never forget is Brennan dropping the elbow on the Fabe sign and doing the Ric Flair strut. If there's anything that you should watch that video for, is just that moment in itself. He's an awesome dude. Go sub to his channel. Show us some love. He's back on YouTube. Alright? So again, head over to his channel. Have a link to his channel down below in the description box. Click on it. Give him a sub. Show up some love. The Outsider's Edge. Alright, what is up, motherflowers? It's me, it's Steve, back at it one more time with the new video, and here I am to give you guys my predictions for WWE Fastlane 2018. As you all know, Fastlane goes live this Sunday on the WWE Network. It's a Fastlane to craziness, to what the fuck are they doing, I have no idea. But it's a Smackdown pay-per-view nonetheless. This is literally the final pay-per-view before WrestleMania. And like I said yesterday on my Smackdown Live review, and I'm going to say here again, I am really not looking forward to this show. I personally feel like this show is very lackluster. I thought the same thing about Elimination Chamber a couple of weeks ago when Raw had their pay-per-view, and it was okay. Now, again, this is my big gripe right now with WWE. We are on the road to WrestleMania. WrestleMania less than like 4 weeks away or 5 weeks away, where the fuck it may be. Okay? And we're supposed to be excited. These pay-per-views are supposed to make you, as a fan, to look forward to watching WrestleMania in a couple of weeks. And I hear everyone say all the time, "Oh, but Steve, you should be positive. Be freaking positive." I am going to issue a challenge to all you out there that look at the product, if you will, from a positive perspective, that always get upset when YouTubers like myself and others come on here and we criticize what we see. Make a video. Convince me and others why we should be positive about the current state of the WWE. Why we should look forward to WrestleMania coming up. I challenge you. And again, do a video, send me a tweet, I'll retweet it, what have you, and I'll give it a watch. But like I said before, Fastlane as a whole, I'm sorry, looks like it's a shitstorm to happen. Completely. I'm looking at the match card right now on Wikipedia, and I am literally looking at 6 matches. Now keep this in mind, as of this recording, it's currently Wednesday right now where I'm at. I'm for certain, I'm pretty sure they'll add a couple more matches to have on the kickoff show. I would not be surprised if they don't, but I get the feeling they will. Okay? But I'm going to go with the 6 matches that we have right here, give my thoughts and my predictions. And by the way, this will also be up on the feeds on iTunes and Stitcher and also over at Podbean. You can download the MP3 version of this predictions video. Alright, so we're going to kick things off from the bottom and work our way to the top being the main event of the show, which I think will close the show, period. We kick off with Becky Lynch and Naomi versus Natalya and Carmella in a tag team match. This was literally set up last night on Smackdown Live after Naomi made a challenge to Natalya to do this tag team match. And really, to be honest, more than anything, is to get the women out there, get them on the show. I'm surprised this is not the kickoff match or is not on the kickoff program, period. I think honestly here, I predict that Carmella will cash in before WrestleMania. And that being said, I predict that Becky Lynch and Naomi will get the win. You'll have Naomi pinning Carmella. Because again, she's currently holding the briefcase. It does not make any sense for her to win right now. The idea is that everyone that holds the briefcase loses every single match until they cash in eventually. So I think that will happen. And again, I'm going with Becky Lynch and Naomi. It should be an okay match, but honestly, it's a whatever match in the long run. We then have Shinsuke Nakamura versus Rusev. This match was also made official last night on Smackdown Live after Rusev challenged Nakamura because Shinsuke Nakamura injured his good old friend Aiden English. Now, let's be real about it. A lot of us were wondering what the hell was Shinsuke Nakamura was going to do on the pay-per-view. Was he going to at least, maybe make an appearance after the main event and do that face-off with whoever is the WWE champion and point at the WrestleMania set, which I still think they'll do that. I still think Shinsuke will do that. And I'll be honest with you, to make things interesting here, okay? Granted, I understand Shinsuke Nakamura is going to WrestleMania right away. I get that. I would have had these two guys go at it and put up Nakamura's WrestleMania main event spot on the line. Think about this, right? If Asuka, right, at Elimination Chamber, granted, she didn't put her spot on the line, but if Nia Jax would have won that match, she would have been added to whatever match Asuka would have chose. You mean to tell me that Shinsuke Nakamura can't do the same thing? Right? Again, maybe put the match on the line, or if Rusev would have won, which I don't think he would have done anyway, have him be the one to, go on into the main event of WrestleMania, what have you. Or if not, in essence, which I don't think Rusev will win, but let's say he did for a minute, right? And Nakamura wins at WrestleMania. There's your program after WrestleMania. That being said, this should be honestly a fun match. I'm not going to lie about it. It should be a fun match. Hopefully they give these guys, maybe 10, 15 minutes to go out there and just do their thing. Rusev's going to get a massive pop. I'm telling you that right now. Because it's Rusev Day. Rusev Day right now, let's be real about it, is probably the most over thing in WWE. It's Elias and Rusev, like the two things that are the most over things right now currently in WWE. That being said, I'm gonna go with Shinsuke Nakamura. Because again, you want Nakamura to go into WrestleMania with momentum, and I guarantee you Nakamura's gonna win. He's gonna get up on the middle turnbuckle, do his weird hand gestures, and point at the WrestleMania sign, and you'll probably have Tom Phillips or freaking Byron Saxton say, "Oh, Nakamura's ready for WrestleMania," something like that. It should be an okay match or a fun match at best. Hopefully, and they steal the show. Well, we'll see. We then have Charlotte Flair defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Ruby Riott from the Riott Squad. I'll be honest, I feel like this match should have happened at the Royal Rumble. Granted, Ruby Riott was placed in the Women's Rumble match. Okay, think about this, right? Ruby Riott had a win over Charlotte months ago, right? And now she's getting her championship match. It's just one of those things where the whole build-up was, hey, Charlotte, Becky, Naomi took out Sarah Logan, who is still green in my opinion, and Liv Morgan. Now it's down to, Ruby Riott, who's the leader of the group. And honestly, at this point in juncture, I have no idea why there's still factions amongst both Raw and SmackDown. Why the Riott Squad still a thing? Even though, honestly, I'll prefer the Riott Squad over Absolution. But why are these two factions still a thing right now? The Women's Rumble is done with. The idea was you added in Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose to Absolution with Paige, and vice versa with the Riott Squad on SmackDown Live, just to add women to the Women's Rumble match. Now that it's over with, I personally believe after this, the Riott Squad will disband sooner than later. But that being said, with this match, the whole build-up is, hey, Ruby Riott is trying to prove that Charlotte Flair is nothing but a myth, a failure with the famous last name, like she said last night on SmackDown. And you have Charlotte trying to defend her name, how she's not just here because of her last name, she's here because of her hard work, dedication. I'm going to go with Charlotte. And then after that, we'll see probably Asuka tease, like maybe make an appearance, which I would do, honestly, and do that tease. Because again, the whole belief is, hey, Asuka's facing Alexa Bliss at WrestleMania. I believe no. I believe it's going to be Charlotte Flair versus Asuka at WrestleMania for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And you have Asuka come out to, at pay-per-view, what have you, do a stare down, and then do the same thing on Raw to start throwing in that tease, if you will. We then have the Usos versus the New Day for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. This was supposed to be, not happening, because think about it, right? Hell in a Cell, that was the end, right? That was done with, no more matches between these two teams. But the reason behind all this is simple, okay? This is the reality. SmackDown right now has been dropping in hits. And they need people to be excited again about SmackDown Live. And you think about it too, when you think of one of the best tag team feuds in WWE, it's the New Day versus the Usos in these past couple of years. And in their eyes, maybe this can move tickets. I don't think so. This will be, again, a good match. Probably the match of the entire show. Either this one or Nakamura Rusev, but I'm aiming more towards this. I think this match will steal the show completely. Just a good back and forth. And I'll be honest, a part of me wants the Usos to hold on to the titles, because I would love to see them go on to WrestleMania as the tag team champions, defending the championships on the main card. It'll be a crime if you have the Usos defend the tag titles on the pre-show of WrestleMania. But at the same time, it's like with Raw. What do you do with the tag titles at WrestleMania? Do you do two, multi-person, tag team match at WrestleMania for both tag titles? You know what I mean? Do you, maybe at WrestleMania, you add in the Usos, the New Day, Benjamin and Gable, even the Bludgeon Brothers? I don't fucking know. But there have been talks as well, even on Raw, that, hey, Cesaro and Sheamus will face a team that's never been a tag team before. So that's kind of the head scratcher in itself. But point is, though, with this match, it's just one of those things where you should not have the New Day walk out at the new tag team champions. The build-up has been good, even though we've seen this before. The promo a couple weeks, the promo last week, where the Usos were talking about how this whole time they never had the WrestleMania moment, and how they scratched and they clawed, and now it's their time, and how the New Day, well, Big E, that is, Big E responded with, they've everything that they were given, they scratched and they clawed. They're not here because their daddy's last name, what have you. And I said this before, I think Big E is one of those guys, once the New Day disband, which I think they'll never will, but if they were to disband for a minute, okay? Let's assume for a minute they were to disband. Big E is one of those guys that could be eventually one day a world champion. If done right. If the build is right, he can be that person, I think. But we'll see where that goes eventually. But as far as predictions go, I'm going to go with the Usos retaining the tag titles here and going on to WrestleMania and defend the tag titles on the grand stage. We then have Bobby Roode versus Randy Orton. Now, this is supposed to be a one-on-one match for the U.S. title. I'm calling it right now, before Fastlane, because again, right now it's Wednesday, okay? I guarantee you either tomorrow or Friday, they're going to announce that Jinder Mahal will be added to the match. You have to add Jinder Mahal. And I know for a lot of people, the last thing people want to see is another multi-person match. I get that. But you think about it, Jinder Mahal beat Randy Orton last night on SmackDown Live. Yeah, what help for Bobby Roode, distraction, all the hell you want. But you think about it, in this whole feud, Jinder Mahal has been instigating. They're feuding, essentially here, Bobby Roode, Randy Orton, the whole thing started because of Jinder Mahal and the SmackDown Top 10, which no one's fucking mentioned anymore. Have y'all noticed that? They were talking about the fucking SmackDown Top 10, and now for 2 weeks, and now last night there was no mention of the SmackDown Top 10. Because they realized it was a failure. Now, back to what I was saying. because Jinder was involved in this feud and what have you, and he beat Randy Orton, you have to add him to the match. I'm not saying have Jinder win the championship, hell no. But you have to add him to the match. Have him be in there just to eat the pin. I don't give a fuck. But let's assume for a minute Bobby or Randy is Bobby Roode and Randy Orton. I almost said Bobby Orton. I don't know why. Okay, if it's just a one-on-one match, listen, this will be a good match if the roles were reversed here. Okay, granted it's two baby faces, but I would rather see Bobby Roode be the heel here. At the same time, Orton also needs a heel turn. Like, both guys need a heel turn so fucking badly, okay? But it's one of those things where, you know, this match, all you want could be a very good match, all you want. But I feel like at this point in the juncture, you know, Bobby Roode needs to win more. I think so, but again, you need to have Jinder Mahal put in this match. And I know for a lot of folks, it's not what they want to hear. But remember, he's been involved in this feud. Even if he eats the pin. That being said, I'm going with Bobby Roode, like I said. But I do get the feeling eventually this will be more than just one match. And I get the feeling at WrestleMania they'll have another match. Maybe they'll add Jinder, but we'll see. Then we get the main event, which was supposed to be at first a triple threat, which became a fatal 4-way, which became a fatal 5-way, which is now a 6-pack challenge for the WWE Championship. You have AJ Styles defending the championship versus John Cena, versus Baron Corbin, versus Dolph Ziggler, the $1.5 million jobber, versus Kevin Owens, versus Sami Zayn. A giant clusterfuck waiting to happen. And what really irks me in a way, they gave this match away last night on Smackdown Live. Even though it wasn't a 6-pack challenge, it was a fatal 5-way. Essentially, you gave us the same shit. And I don't want any people to say, oh, but it served the purpose, though, because Sami Zayn, pinned Kevin Owens, and he turned his back, even though he promised Kevin Owens that he was going to lay down and have Kevin Owens pin him to become champion, and he swerved everybody, giving you the idea that Sami Zayn's going to... If you really think that Sami Zayn is going to win this Sunday, do me a favor. Just don't watch the pay-per-view on Sunday. Don't watch it. Seriously, just don't watch it. It's just a giant disorganization period. And it comes to show you that they just love their multi-person matches. They just love it. It's also the whole story here of John Cena. How, he wants to make it to WrestleMania so badly that he's, again, willing and ready to break Ric Flair's 16-time record, or surpass it, if you will, and how he wants AJ Styles at WrestleMania to invoke his rematch clause to make it a triple threat match between John Cena, Shinsuke Nakamura, and AJ Styles, which, by the way, and I know, again, the last thing you want to have is a multi-person match, but on paper, Styles versus Nakamura versus Cena would not be a bad match at all. On paper, I'm just saying, okay? And you have Dolph Ziggler, who wants his redemption, who wants to finally, prove people wrong that he can be the guy. You have all these... Then you just have Baron Corbin for the sake of just being Baron Corbin being in the match. But again, this is a giant clusterfuck. It could be a good match all you want. All these guys getting their stuff in, getting their moves in, all you want. Near fall after near fall. But I predict in this match that AJ Styles will win. And he will pin John Cena. He's going to pin John Cena. And you're going to have this whole thing where Cena's like, what's going to happen now for WrestleMania? He'll appear on Raw. And you'll hear a gong. Even though I don't want to see that match also. I don't want to see Taker versus Cena. But you kind of get the gist too, right? Also, maybe you'll have Nakamura come out. And you'll have a stare-off with AJ Styles. And they'll point at the sign, because, again, that's what they do, right? They point at the freaking sign, and you'll have Byron Saxton or Corey Graves talking about how in Japan many, many years ago, they had an amazing match at Wrestle Kingdom 10, which they did. Which, if you have not watched that match, I strongly recommend you guys watch that match before you watch their match at WrestleMania 34 coming up in New Orleans. And that will pretty much wrap up the pay-per-view. Again, I have zero expectations for this show. I really, really do. because they have done nothing to excite me for the show. And that's the travesty here with WWE and their build to WrestleMania on both brands, not just SmackDown Live. Even though as of late SmackDown has become the dull show of the WWE, it went from being the A show from a lot of people to just being now the embarrassment, right? But we'll see what they'll do. Who is to say, right? They, swerve everyone. They have a good show. We'll see. I will be doing a live review this Sunday after the pay-per-view. I'm going to take live calls. I want you guys to call in as well. Give me your thoughts on the show, whether you enjoyed it or not, what have you. And again, guys, this pretty much wrapped up the prediction video. Give me your thoughts down below in the comment thread of this video with your predictions. Who do you see winning these matches? Also, if you want, tell me also on Twitter at HeelSteven, where I tweet throughout Monday Night Raw, SmackDown Live, NXT, pay-per-views, but above all else with each and every single one of you mother flowers. Also, like I said, go check out my boy Brennan, who is now being known as TheOutsidersEdge on YouTube. Go sub to his channel, show him some love, tell him that I sent you, what have you. Good dude. Go sub to his channel. And that's all I gotta say here, guys. Again, thank you for watching this video. Again, this will be up on the feed as well. iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean as well. If you have to listen to on the go, the download as well. But that pretty much is that's pretty much it for me. I'll be back later on today to do an NXT review. And guys, again, follow me on Twitter. Give it a big old thumbs up. And as always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, it's me, it's Steve, and it's wrestling and whatever. I'm out like Janice Titties. Brah.